In this video, you're gonna learn the 10 biggest flirting mistakes that men make and 10 tips to fix these problems so that you can confidently make sparks fly with women, and we start right now. I'm dating coach and best-selling author Connell Barrett, the real life hitch. I help men flirt with confidence and attract their dream girlfriends, all by being authentic. No pickup artist tricks needed, nothing creepy. Let me ask you, do you run out of things to say? Are you just unsure how to flirt? Well, these 10 tips will help you flirt with total confidence so you can attract cool, cute girls, just like hundreds of my clients have done. And these flirting moves actually help me meet my amazing girlfriend, Jess. So let's do it. Let's count down the 10 biggest flirting fails and stick around because the number one biggest flirting mistake, when you fix this one at the end, you're never again gonna run out of things to say. Flirting fail number 10, getting stuck in interview mode. Here's the thing about interview mode. The real problem isn't interview mode, just that you're asking questions. It's asking a bunch of logical, informational, boring questions. Where are you from? When did you graduate? What do you do? That'll make her fall asleep. Let's bust a myth right now. Interview mode is a good thing if you ask good questions. Good, increasingly flirty questions. So here are 5 great questions to ask a woman, and this is the right way to do interview mode, and you want to ask these 5 questions in this order. Here we go. Number 1, if we could be transported anywhere in the world, where would we go? Now this gets her focusing on the two of you as a couple. Number 2, what do you love to do in bed besides the obvious? This is a sex-adjacent question, but it's not too vulgar, it's not too risque. Maybe she likes to watch Netflix, she chills with her cat, she likes to read in bed. This is a good question to get her thinking about bedroom activities without coming across as too sexual too soon. Question number 3, do you like to be the big spoon or the little spoon? Again, this is just a nice, flirty, but G-rated question. Question number 4, what was your first kiss like? This gets her to be a bit more vulnerable, while also talking about things that are romantic but in a non-vulgar way. Just be ready to talk about your first kiss story after she shares hers. In fact, for any question you ask a woman on a date, to avoid coming across as too interrogating, all you have to do is answer any question that you ask her, answer it yourself, and this makes it an exchange, not an interrogation. And flirty question number 5 is, do you like a kiss to be a surprise, or do you like to see it coming? For this last one, this is a great way on a date to lead into that first kiss. Because if she says, oh, I like a surprise, then you just say, well, surprise, and you lean in and kiss her. If she says she doesn't like it to be a surprise, she likes to see it coming, then you can say, okay, here it comes. So these 5 flirtatious questions, ask them in this order, put some space between them. I don't mean ask them all one at a time. And this is a great way to lead into that first kiss. Flirting fail number 9, pretending to be somebody you're not. Don't put on some fake alpha male bad boy mask. Don't be like these toxic, misguided pickup dudes who are all over YouTube teaching you bad technique.
It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck.
Don't try to be what you think she wants. Be your true best self. I once had a date with a woman, and I thought she wanted to be with some adventuresome, outdoorsy guy because that's what she was into. So I told her that I swam with sharks, which is a lie, and I told her that I was big into hiking and skydiving. All BS. And she could see right through me. She could see right through me, and she lost interest. It was only when I become radically authentic, genuine, when I showed her my Star Wars loving, dorky, nerdy, musical theater, nerdy ginger vibes, that she got really into me. And we actually hit it off and dated for a while. So my advice for you is never be something you're not. Be authentic. Show her your real self. Share your true, real personality, your sense of humor. Give her a shot of that 12-year barrel-aged you. Don't be some watered-down wine spritzer. Don't be somebody you're not. That advice will serve you so well in your dating life because mom was right. Girls like you for you. Flirting fail number 8, not going for the first kiss on a first date. Look, you're never gonna lose a girl if you go for a kiss on a first date and she turns the cheek. Even if she turns the cheek, you get points for trying. You will lose a woman's interest if you want to kiss her, but you don't try because of fear. So be that guy who goes for it, as long as you do it with empathy and noticing how she's feeling. So here's the fix. On your next first date, when you want to go for that kiss, look her in the eye and say, I really want to kiss you. And notice how she responds. There's something really sexy and cool about a guy just going for what he wants. She'll tell you if she's ready to be kissed. She might say, what are you waiting for? Or she might blush and her eyes might get big, then move in for the kiss. And you've gotten those signals that you want, and you've also gotten your first kiss. Flirting fail number 7, using canned, scripted lines and basically just being too gamey. I once approached a woman with a great opener. I said, hey, I'm in a good mood. I wanted to share it with you. She lit up. She loved it. And so then I proceeded to hit her with 2 minutes of good game, nag, tease, joke, all these fancy pickup artist moves I was practicing, and she just lost interest in me. 2 minutes later, she said, it was nice meeting you, and she bailed. And if I had just let go of all that pickup stuff, all that fake alpha male nonsense, then I could have just been genuine with her and told the truth about who I am and what I was about, and she would have loved me. So the tip here, the fix here is, when in doubt, be vulnerable. Say the deepest, truest thing to a woman if you're not sure what to say. It could be something like, gosh, you're really pretty and I'm really nervous right now. Or I'm so in my head because I really want this date to go well. Women love a guy who's genuine and vulnerable and has the ability to sort of put that real self out there. This turns you into Hugh Grant in a rom-com, you know? A little bit nervous, a little bit fumbling, but gosh, he's got a crush and he's gonna put his real self out there. So when in doubt, don't use some weird, fake, scripted anything, and avoid being overly gamey. Tell the truth, be authentic, and speak those true, real thoughts. Flirting fail number 6, getting too sexual too soon. Early on with women in interactions, you want to keep things light. Think G-rated early, and then later things can get R-rated when you and she are alone. Here's a quick story to underscore this. I once approached a wonderful woman named Amanda. She was walking outside of a Forever 21. I walked up to her and said, hey, you're adorable. I had to meet you. Got her number. We started dating. We were lying in bed one morning, and she said, you know what I loved about how you approached me? And I said, what? And she said, I loved how innocent it was. You didn't hit on me. You didn't say something sketchy. You just were so innocent. You said I was adorable. Now, she said this to me as we were lying in bed after having the most steamy, incredible sexual night, maybe of my life at that time. Things got very X-rated, but it all started with me being very G-rated. So early on when you're flirting with a woman, whether it's an approach or a first date or texting online, keep it G-rated, keep it innocent. Show your interest, but keep it innocent. Don't get to sexy time too soon. That'll get you blown out. Instead, keep it light, keep it innocent, and then things can get R-rated and later X-rated down the road. Flirting fail number 5, failing to break the touch barrier. It's okay to touch a woman, as long as you do it in the right way and you're not too touchy too soon. In fact, it's a little weird not to be a little bit physically expressive. This is part of being what I call man to woman. Watch the last video to learn all about man to woman communication. So here's the fix if you are not physically expressive. Think of a first date as happening in 4 quarters. The first quarter, you are doing things like a hug, hello, high fives. Second quarter, you're doing things like maybe a tapping her on the shoulder as you're talking or touching her on the knee. Third quarter, you're doing things like throwing your arm around her shoulder, maybe whispering in her ear, getting nice and close. And then in the fourth quarter, you're doing things like holding hands and going for that first kiss. By the way, anytime you are holding hands with a woman, she has now basically given you permission to kiss her. So follow the 4-quarter method of physical connection and physical escalation. Flirting fail number 4, lacking romantic clarity with your words. You're a man. Men use their words. So when you meet a woman, tell her she's cute or sexy or hot. Here's a good way to do it on a first date that keeps it man to woman but not vulgar. Find a trait that you like about her and tell her that you think it's sexy. Here's a quick story from my dating past. I was on a first date with a beautiful, intelligent, successful woman of Latina ancestry. I was very attracted to her, but I was a little bit nervous about letting a woman know that she's sexy. But I finally got the courage up. I said, Annabelle, it's really, really sexy the way you laugh. And she leaned in and said, you're calling me sexy? And I said, yeah. And she said, oh my God, thank God. Men are so afraid to tell me I'm sexy. And then she said, and I love that you told me it was something about me. It wasn't just my body. So tell a woman that you find something specific sexy about her. I call this the sexy compliment. So maybe it's her sexy laugh, her sexy sense of humor, her sexy confidence. Let her know that that internal side of her is really sexy to you, and you are going to be flirting at a higher level than 99% of men. Flirting fail number 3, fawning over her. Beware of saying too many times how gorgeous or amazing or incredible she is. Fawning makes a woman feel like she's on a pedestal above you, and if a woman is above you, look, women don't want to date beneath them. You know, the queen wants to be with the king. The queen does not date the court jester or the prince. So don't fawn too much. If you find yourself fawning too much, here's the fix. Instead of fawning, give her a playful tease. Crack a joke about something dorky or nerdy about her that you noticed. On my first date with my now girlfriend Jess, we had a really great, fun, flirty banter. And what I did is I accused her of stalking me because my book, Dating Sucks But You Don't, had just come out. So I teased her about being like a crazy fan, like in the movie Misery, where she was trying to abduct me because I'm an author and probably I should beware and not see her again because she's so crazy.
God, I love you.
It was all meant as a joke. It was a playful tease. And this was my way of showing her, hey, I'm into you, I'm flirting with you, but it's not that you're above me or I'm above you. We're equals in this together. So if you find yourself fawning, stop it and give her a playful tease instead. That lifts you up onto the same pedestal that she's on, so you've got two people on the same level. Flirting fail number 2, being too boring. What does that mean? Specifically, it means your conversation is about logical, informational things and not a fun, playful topic or a fun, playful context. So many times a first date or that first conversation, you think it goes well enough because you're both talking, there's no pauses, there's no awkward moments, but then she says, look, I'm just not feeling it, bro, sorry. And often that's because you were logical, informational. You didn't have fun, you didn't play with her. So here's the fix. Inject some games into your dates, or your conversation with women. I don't mean play games in a manipulative way. I mean literally play games. Do a staring contest. Thumb wrestle her. Do a fun little role play. Like I mentioned earlier when I had told my future girlfriend that she was stalking me. We were doing a fun little role play there. All you need are 1 or 2 quick little fun games to play on a first date. Here's a good first date game to play. It's a game called the question game. You simply take turns asking each other questions, but there's one rule. No lying allowed. It has to be a truthful answer. I like to imagine I'm throwing the Wonder Woman rope around a woman. And if I sense she's lying or exaggerating, I'll call bullshit. So you can play a fun first date game like the question game, staring contests, thumb wrestling, 2 truths and a lie, and this will inject your dates with some much needed playfulness. All right, here we go. Flirting fail number 1, drum roll please. Making your conversational bar too high. There's a big myth in dating that you probably think you have to have amazing conversational skills. You gotta be witty, you gotta be amazing, you gotta be funny, you gotta do good game. The truth is, you don't have to be the wittiest, most amazingly clever guy on the block. You don't have to up your game. Remember, you're on a date or you're in a conversation with a woman. You're not doing a TED Talk, you're not doing a stand-up comedy routine. I think the most universal issue with flirting is guys feel like, I run out of things to say. I don't know what to say. But that's only because they make the bar so high. You never run out of things to say when you're talking to your friends or your sister or your good buddies or your parents. So why do you run out of things to say with women? Because you're filtering this through the lens of, what do I say to make her attracted to me? And this is not helping you. It's hurting you. So here's the fix. The fix is follow the 80-20 rule. What's the 80-20 rule? 80% of your conversation with a woman on a date or an approach, or heck, even when you're texting, 80% of it is just normal, sincere, authentic conversation. Just you being you. Not trying to impress her or to flirt with her or to tease her or do any quote unquote moves. And then 20% of your conversation can and should be playful, teasing, telling her she's sexy, a little fun little push-pull, if you want to talk about advanced teasing moves. So think 80-20. And this will lower the bar for you and make it so much easier for you to chat and flirt, because you can just literally be yourself. Be normal. For 80% of a conversation with a woman, drop all pickup game flirting moves. Only 20% needs to be fancy. When you make this shift, it's going to feel so much better to you, because all of a sudden you're going to have all this added mental RAM available, and paradoxically you're going to become even funnier and more relaxed and cooler and wittier because you're not straining to be those things. So follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of what you say can just be chill, normal, borderline boring. I dare you to be boring with a woman. I have a client, Edward, who is into AI. He's an engineer. And I gave him a mission one night. I said, I want you to go out for a night and I want you to approach women with AI topics, with engineer topics. And he walked up to women and started talking about AI and engineering and all this nerdy stuff. And women were super responsive to him. He got rid of all that, almost all of that dating, pickup, flirting move stuff. And he just was normal and genuine. And then that all of a sudden made him feel so much more comfortable that when he was teasing and flirting and complimenting a girl, it had so much more power because they were seeing this real, genuine, authentic version of him. And then he would tease and joke, and then they really liked him. So follow the 80-20 rule and you will never again run out of things to say, and you're gonna have a much more charismatic, fun, and authentic, genuine conversation with women. All right, those are my 10 biggest flirting mistakes that you wanna fix and 10 ways to fix them. But wait, there's more. You probably wanna know how to go out and practice this in real world situations, like on first dates, at bars, social situations, maybe when you approach a woman. If you wanna be able to put these flirting moves into action, watch the next video, click the video on your screen, and we will take things to a whole new level.